So preparation is really important for optimising your wear times and reducing the risk of blisters or mechanical irritations on the skin. The forces in dynamic tape are much higher than in other tapes and kinesiology tapes, and the glue subsequently is also much stronger to ensure we get good adhesion, but we do need to apply it correctly. So we need clean, dry skin. If they do have lotions or oils on the skin, just remove with soap and water. If they have hair, we need to remove the hair. A set of clippers is generally ideal as it takes enough hair off to get good adhesion, but it doesn't create a reaction. Using a razor will often create a reaction, and then we're putting a fairly aggressive adhesive on it that can just cause more of an irritation to the skin. We generally round the corners of the tape. That just reduces the chances of those lifting and peeling. When it comes to our anchor points, it's important that we leave a large anchor point with no tension on it to try to distribute the forces. Generally something like double what you might be used to using with a kinesiology tape to accommodate this increase in load that will be going through it. Try not to touch the adhesive surface on the tape. That will also improve your adhesion. So the way to remove the backing paper is simply twist the paper a little bit and then just lightly press through it. That way you can peel the tape off or the backing paper off and apply the tape without touching the adhesive. Generally try to remove as much paper as you can, at least on relatively short techniques. That allows us to get uniform tension along the whole piece of tape, and because we're going to be in the short position, it's the movement then that creates the majority of the force. If you try to peel the backing paper off as you go, often you'll create small tension points which can cause reactions, or you lose your position or you lose your tension, in which case you lose your mechanical effect. With regard to the anchor point, we need to hold down with our thumb and tension slightly back in the opposite direction as we take up the slack in the tape. We don't need to stretch strongly, we just need to take up the tension. Because we're in that short position, the movement will increase that when it's required. So anchor with the thumb, tension on, smooth down as much of the tape as you can with your fingers while maintaining the tension on the thumb. Once you have more tape adhered, we can then remove the thumb and then we can apply the other anchor point without any tension. If there are creases, we can come in and just pull those out to make sure that we don't have any folds of the skin underneath the tape. For your adhesion, pressing and holding is far more important than rubbing, particularly on those anchor points or any hollow areas or anywhere where the tape does cross. We try to avoid starting one piece of tape on another piece of tape because this will be recoiling in this direction, this in the transverse direction, so it's more likely to shear off itself. Similarly, large overlaps, we generally will have different degrees of stretch on those, perhaps, so you're better to keep them parallel and not touching, or overlap them 100% first and make a power band and apply that as one strong piece of tape. If you do need to cross the tape, you generally find you'll get better adhesion if you start on skin and finish on skin on the other side. Try to allow an hour or so before people go into the water or before they start to put a lot of demand on it, start perspiring and so on. If you don't have that amount of time, or it is a particularly challenging area of the body, some of the hollow areas around the Achilles, under the feet, etc., then the adhesive spray will give you a much faster bonding and generally allow people to go out within a few minutes and start performing their activities or go in the water. Make sure you warn people very, very clearly. If they get any itching, burning, stinging, irritation to the tape, that they remove it. If you're doing circumferential techniques, particularly if they get any pins and needles or numbness, that we may be compromising the circulation or perhaps the neural tissue, then it should be removed. When it comes to removing the tape, we want to make sure that we don't lift up on the tape. If we do lift up on the tape, we get a lot more tension on the skin. It's more likely to cause trauma to the skin and be uncomfortable, particularly if there is a bit of an irritation under the tape already. So instead, we hold down the skin with our thumb, peel the tape back along itself in short, sharp increments, and that's relatively pain-free and is less likely to cause problems. The other alternative that some people prefer is to hold down through the tape, maintain that pressure as they're peeling back. The first way, pull the skin away from the tape. Second way, hold the tape through the skin, and in this part that's actually quite difficult, so we're better off actually short, sharp ones on the skin.